All right, everybody, welcome back once again to JJ's PC Belts. And before we get started, make sure you get your drink and snacks, by the way. I do, like always. We're going to dive right in and we're going to look at doing 4K on the First Descendant. The reason why I'm doing this is the simple fact is so that way you guys understand that, you can change your display settings. Now, I am using dynamic screen resolution. Just to let you know this, I am using DSR and pushing it up to 4K. The thing is this. Now, understand with the game resolution and my screen resolution gives me a little bit more of an advantage, just for say. But we're going to go ahead and get started with this party because we got it all loaded up and ready to go. Let's go to the action screen. Let's find out. Alrighty. We're back on the action screen. I have only Ultra on because what I noticed in the beginning was that between the high settings and the Ultra settings, there's not that much difference. So we'll leave it at the Ultra settings. Since there's not that much difference, we'll push it right to the max. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just get a baseline. And that's pretty much what we want to do is have a baseline. So we'll start our baseline off at the Ultra settings with everything else off. Just Ultra settings all the way across the board. The reflex is off. DLSS is off. Ray tracing's off. So we'll go back and we'll get a baseline. Okay, we're back to it and we're going to do a baseline. Okay. This right here, this is my baseline. At 4K, this is what I'm getting. Now, if you remember at 1080p when I did this in the beginning, it was giving me 105 FPS. Now that I brought the resolution up to 4K, now I'm at 36 FPS. Did I change monitors? No. I'm still on the same 1080p monitor. Still on the same 1080p monitor, guys. So, now that we got our baseline attached and we can see everything's going good, and I got to figure out why I'm at 70C. I have a feeling this AIO cooler is not keeping up. I have a good feeling that AIO cooler is not keeping up. So I'm going to have to check into that and find out. Because something's not right, as I can see. Because I shouldn't be at 70C just sitting still in a game. So something's not right. Especially only running at 30, below 50%. I mean, I shouldn't be kicking it that hard when it comes to this game. But anyway, we'll get through it and we'll find out later and we'll fix it and go from there. Okay, now, since we're in 4K mode, hypothetically, let's see. Let's go ahead and do NVIDIA. Let's go ahead and do DLAA. Make sure everything else is off. Which it is. We'll go back and now we'll see what that gives us. Hit the button. Actually didn't change that much. Really didn't change anything. So, as I'm going along, I'm doing benchmarking, and this is basically, getting all the numbers. So, yeah, I haven't moved my character for the simple fact that, I'm benchmarking in one spot for the different resolutions to see which one's going to be the best one for me. So, we're going to go ahead and go up to the balanced, and we're going to go from there. So, we're back on the balanced. Let's see what we got cooking. Okay, so we went up to balance. We jumped up 20 or 30 FPS. I'm waiting for everything to settle. And as you can see, we're now at 74C. And we're pulling 44, 45%. Huh, interesting. Well, we'll just keep moving along and see how far we can pull it up, I guess. But so far, so good. So far, so good. We moved up in percentages. So you guys can see the percentages. I'll try to call them off once in a while to you so you can notice that, you know. And I don't have a big booty cursor doing this. So you guys are just going to have to bear with me because this is what it is. They don't give me the option for a big booty cursor. So F10, ESC, let's see, let's go to the options. We're at balanced. Let's go all the way up to ultra performance. Everything else is still off. Hit F10. Ultra performance gives it close to 100 FPS. The 1% gives me, 1% lows gives me about, I'd say, over 80 FPS. And I'm just going to round it off to the nearest big number. So the 0.1 frame rate gives me, the 0.1% frame rate gives me, sorry about that, 56, let's just say 56. We'll just say 56 and leave it there. And the frame time still hitting around 10 milliseconds. So let's switch some things up and see what we can do. Hit the options. Now we're going to leave it at ultra performance on NVIDIA DLSS, and we're going to kick in ray tracing. I'm going to kick in ray tracing all the way up to the top. And we do have the option for ray reconstruction, but we'll come back for that. Everything else is just ray tracing ultra performance DLSS with ultra graphics. Let's see what we get. And we're back down to around 60 FPS. So, having everything all kicked on to make it look all nicey and everything else, we're still back down around 60 FPS. So, now I can see where other reviewers are getting these numbers from. They're doing everything, you know, and that's the thing. I'm sitting there wondering, my numbers are higher on 1080p, but when it comes to like 4K or, you know, 1440p, the number declines. So the higher you go up, the less amount of FPS you're going to get. So let's say they come out with 8K. You might as well cut that in half. Because you're basically, the higher you go up, the more the numbers are going to drop. So, but still, it's at 66 FPS. It should be still rocking good. Now, don't get discouraged because if you see 60 FPS, okay, this is when I got everything kicked on too. So if I were to turn this off and I were to go to, let's say, AMD, and I went to, let's just say balanced, because I'm not going to make this a long video. We'll go to balanced. And no, I didn't kick on frame gen or anything else. Okay? I did not kick on frame gen or anything else. So, let's just see what AMD balance does. Okay. When I had everything kicked on, it was still around the same FPS. Shadows were tightened up a little bit, but this looks like it's kind of sloppy and a little bit loose. So, I really don't think that, you know, using FSR for this game is really going to be a good thing for NVIDIA graphics cards. Just my opinion. But you know what? We're not moving to where we're going to need frame gen anyway, so it's really not going to matter. But I know somebody's going to say, well, you know, you did all that and you just ain't doing frame gen. What's the matter with you? Okay, we'll kick on frame gen and we'll see what happens there. There you go. Brought it up 30 FPS. Not bad. Shadows are kind of lightening up a little bit. I don't see ghosting, so I don't know. You guys seem to see more ghosting than I do, and I'm looking directly at the screen, and you guys are just looking directly at the capture screen. So I don't see how you guys see more ghosting than I do. I don't even see ghosting. So kicking all that on, kicked up the temps a little bit. So let's see. Let's move on. We did the frame gen. Let's go ahead and go to Intel. And let's just put it on quality. And this doesn't have frame gen or anything else. Understand this. Does not have it. Just has XESS. And it'll allow you to do ray tracing. But pretty much anything else, you can't do it. So, hit F10. Not too far off. 3 FPS off. Let everything balance in. My opinion, between the FSR balanced and XESS balanced, it's almost close to the same. It is almost close to the same as far as FPS and everything else. But frame time in milliseconds, it's not that great. So XESS is pulling 16 milliseconds. That's a lot. That's a lot of lag. So to me, that's a lot of lag. So let's go ahead and go back to NVIDIA. And one thing we didn't do, we're not going to do the ray tracing. We'll do the ultra performance, but we'll turn on frame generation. That's something we didn't do. So we'll go back. We turn on frame gen. Voila. Gives me 112 FPS right in that region. One time, the 1% lows gives me around 100 FPS, and the 0.1% lows gives me around 43 FPS. Having a frame time around 8 to 9 milliseconds compared to 16. So, going back a little bit more, we're going to do one more test, and we'll call it good. Ultra performance is good. We're going to do medium ray tracing with reconstruction. We're going to try this, and we're going to see what it does. So, not bad. Not bad at all. Let's see. I don't see ghosting. That looks pretty freaking good to me. Looks real good to me. I don't know about you guys, but I like it. It seems to look good. So, let's go back to the main screen, and we can talk about this a little bit. exit in, confirm, and we can talk about this. And so that way nobody's not saying that, well, you didn't do it right. Okay. I'm going to show you right where it's at. And if you can't see it, then I guess we're going to just have to blow it up a little bit for you. Guess we're going to have to blow it up. Big booty cursor, so you guys didn't miss it. Okay. Now, let's pull this right here. As you can see, it is at 3840 times 2160. 2K. Or 4K, sorry. As you can see, and the scale is at 200%. So, no trickery whatsoever. It is what it is. So that way, you guys seen it, I seen it, we all seen it. Said and done. This way, you guys understand that I'm being fully transparent. Fully transparent. Moving everything around. Transparency is the key issue, guys. And I understand, a lot of people are not being totally honest and transparent about what they do. I'm trying to make it as transparent as I can and show you guys what I'm doing at all times. So this way you can see yourself that I'm keeping it real. That I'm not hiding anything from you. Okay? When I test these games, I take you along with me from A to Z. So you see that it's full transparency. I just don't, and understand this, I just don't like the fact of just take and showing you guys the product and then just giving you the benchmarks and saying, my 2 cents about it and that's it. I'm trying to do the fact of doing the testing, showing you what the actual real-time numbers are. So that way, if I ever go back through the videos again, I can always, build my benchmarking off of the videos. Or if I make a new video with the new benchmarking, I can do that too. But then I can put it on a graph, and then I can show you the graph, and then in the description put to you what video it was that I got these numbers from, so that way you can see it's transparent. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm doing this for a reason. I want to be able to build my subscribers trust that they're getting everything to 100%, that they're not being lied to, which I will never do. So, and yes, I did use dynamic screen resolution. I did not use a 4K monitor. Okay, straight up. I used dynamic screen resolution to be able to benchmark the games for now. In time, when I build my finances up, and I'm not bringing this to your plate, then I'll be able to get a monitor. So in the meantime, I'm working towards getting up to a 4K monitor, so you have to bear with me, and I'm doing the best I can with what I got. And that's basically how most of your consumers are out there now these days. They're just basically working with what they got. And I told you guys, I'm going right along with y'all and feeling the pain. Okay? Not being able to have the right, the proper equipment and everything else, going through step by step slowly with you guys to show you that, starting from rock bottom and working your way up, you guys are coming along with me and, following my adventure. I'm not trying to influence, and I'm going to make this point clear, I am not trying to influence anybody to buy anything. I'm taking you on my adventure. And I'm taking you along with me, so you just got to watch the videos and stay with the storyline. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do subscribe as well, because that way you can stick along with the storyline. Every video I'm making is going to combine into one big story. This is one big storyline, but this is doing it realistically. Realistic. Keeping everything into real time. That's the reason why I make my videos on certain days, so that way you see what I'm doing. Now, I have another video that I'm going to see if I can get it together today, so I can post it out today, so I can make up for yesterday. Okay? So that way, there'll be 2 videos on today, and then we can go on to Thursday. Because today is Wednesday. So if you made it this far with me, and I do appreciate it, and my conclusion is this: I don't like 4K. I think it totally sucks. You're going to be like, "Oh my God, Jay, did you just say that?" Yeah, I did. I think 4K sucks. And only reason I haven't really got into 1440p and 4K was for the simple fact that 67% of the consumers today in the world are still using 1080p. And people can't get their heads not wrapped around it. They think everybody's using what they use. They're not. If you got a poll that can show me anything different than what I've been seeing on the polls that I've been seeing, then let me know. I have friends all over the world running polls on who's using what monitor. Look, you can run any monitor you want to. You can run a 1080p monitor, 1440p monitor, or 4K monitor. You can run a 100K monitor. Who cares? The reason why I'm saying that is because the simple fact, as long as you can play your game, who cares what anybody else says? As long as it looks good to you, who cares what anybody else says? As long as you're happy, that's all that matters. So don't get twisted just because I say I don't like 4K and 1440p. Okay, that's my preference. Is because I prefer 1080p. I just do. I always have and I always will. But if you want 1440p and it looks good for you, more power to you. I like what I like, you like what you like, and I'm not going to judge you on that. Okay, it's up to you. I mean, you make your decision. Okay, but I've always come to the conclusion, as long as you can play your game, everything else doesn't matter. As long as you don't have stuttering on your screen, nothing else matters. As long as you don't have artifacting on your screen, nothing else matters. As long as you can see the shadowing properly, as long as you can see the pixels in the game properly, as long as everything looks great to you, that's your business. So, in my business, in my adventure, I like 1080p. Yeah, I will one day get a 1440p and 4K monitor. Okay, I will in the future, so don't judge me there. I'm just running DSR right now to give me a perspective if I really like it or not. Okay. I just can't see running, my GPU to death, trying to struggle to keep up with that 4K monitor, with the high latency. I really can't see using it. Just like with the 1440p and the latency, I can't really see using it. Until they come up with something that has lower latencies, that gives you better frame time performance than what they got now. They say, oh, I got a new one, it's got better. And then when you get it home, you try it, and it's crap. I've already had 3 people tell me that. And these are people that are in the business. So, but I'm not judging it. Maybe I'll find one day, to get a better monitor and test it out and make sure it's what I like. But for now, I like what I like, you like what you like, and make sure you like to subscribe to the channel. And also, too, hit that notification bell. Well, no, don't hit the notification bell. Let's start again. If you like the video and this is your first time here, then subscribe. And then put a positive like on the video, and also too hit the notification bell so you know when I post the next video. But until the next time and the next video, you know what this is, and we will see you on the coming soon video, hopefully today. So take care and be safe.